Hi, everybody. Welcome to English Digest. I'm Tom.
Hi, I'm Stephanie.
We are continuing with our travel unit for today. We're traveling to Dubai in the United Arab Emirates. And last time we talked a little bit about this place. Remember, it's a flashy place. It's got some great architecture, luxurious shopping. It's a playground for the rich. But if you get off the beaten path, you can check out some things like the great souks in this place, in this country, basically.
Their markets, yeah.
Their markets, indeed. You can go to the gold souk to check out jewelry, and you can go to the spice souk to check out lots of spices. Maybe you might even bring some home and try to cook some interesting dishes.
That's where I'd go. I would go to the spice souk. And yeah, the spices have to be cheaper there than they are here. Because anytime you import stuff, it's just really expensive. Saffron's not cheap either. Today, we're going to continue discovering the delights of Dubai. And first, as we always do, we're going to read through today's lesson. And then we'll be back to talk about some of these words and phrases.
Next, you'll want to check out some of Dubai's architectural wonders. You won't have to look hard to spot the Burj Khalifa. At over 828 meters tall, it's the world's tallest building and boasts an elegant design. What's possibly more impressive is the Palm Jumeirah. Located off Dubai's coast, it's the world's largest man-made archipelago, where many of Dubai's top hotels can be found. The Palm Jumeirah is especially beautiful when seen from above, so be sure to look out for it later when your plane departs Dubai. After you've finished sightseeing, it's time to go on a desert safari adventure. You'll start with a camel ride through the desert as the sun sets. Next, you'll hop in a sport utility vehicle for the wildest off-road experience of your life, dune bashing. Just remember to hold on to your seat as the driver whips you around the desert at high speeds. At the end of the tour, you can relax and watch belly dancers move to the rhythm of Middle Eastern music. By this point, you've probably worked up an appetite. Perhaps Dubai's best-kept secret is that its traditional food is delicious and reasonably cheap. Many dishes are influenced by Tunisian, Lebanese, Moroccan, or other Middle Eastern cuisines. Shawarma is a mouth-watering pita wrap stuffed with juicy lamb or chicken that's slow-roasted over an open fire. Machbous is a famous rice dish that contains onions, meat, and plenty of flavorful spices. With so much to see, do, and taste, you'll find Dubai to be a magical destination full of delights and wonders.
Okay, guys, we're back in Dubai. So, what are some of the things you can do? Our article starts out with this. Well, next, you'll want to check out some of Dubai's architectural wonders. So, if it's architectural, it has something to do with the design of the buildings. And we often use this word wonder to talk about something that's pretty spectacular. You've heard about the natural wonders of the world. There are man-made wonders and there are also natural wonders. They've had some buildings over there that have been built that are pretty impressive. I was talking about a 7-star hotel when we first started discussing this unit. And I just looked it up. It's actually ranked number 1 of all the 7-star hotels around the planet. It's a really cool hotel that's situated in the water, but you really are going to have to bring all your pennies and nickels and dollars and kwais and everything. It's expensive if you actually want to stay there. So you won't have to look very hard to spot one of these architectural wonders besides that hotel, which is Burj Al Arab. So
I've heard of that.
Yeah, it's got 7 stars. Wow, the pictures that you can see online are crazy pretty. But the one we're going to talk about right now, though, is the Burj Khalifa, which has been around for some time. It's the one that beat Taipei 101 to take over the crown of being the world's tallest building. But I want to say for the record that Burj Khalifa One of the reasons why they beat Taipei 101's record is they have this really, really tall pole at the top of the building.
Okay.
I don't think that's very impressive.
You don't think that counts?
I don't think it counts, no.
Okay, well, I guess there are other ways to determine how tall a building is, like the highest occupied floor and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So you'd have to check that out, but I think it's still tall in that regard. And if you're from Taiwan, you probably won't want to go there because you're mad. 101 used to be the tallest, and you guys stole that title from us.
I was kind of mad when they stole the title, yeah.
Well, I think it was only a matter of time, although I expected China to beat out 101, which they probably already have with some other buildings in Shanghai or something like that. But in any case here, at the current moment, as we're recording here, the Burj Khalifa is the world's tallest building. At over 828 meters tall, it's the world's tallest building and boasts an elegant design. So it's not only tall, but its design is elegant,
Classy.
It's unique, it's classy, it's pretty cool. So you probably should go check it out. Now, what's possibly more impressive is the Palm Jumeirah. Okay, that's impressive. If something is impressive, it kind of makes you stop and go, wow, that is so cool. You can really admire it because it's big, because it's expensive, because it's imposing, because it's awesome. Ooh, that is so impressive. You can use this to describe people who do impressive things. Wow, the job you did on the Johnson account was quite impressive. You are really, really smart. So in this particular case, though, this is an impressive place called the Palm Jumeirah. What is this anyway?
Yeah, well, it's located off Dubai's coast. So it's right there in the water, believe it or not. It is the world's largest man-made archipelago where many of Dubai's top hotels can be found. That's true of many of the impressive hotels located around the world. You'll find them as close to the water as possible because that real estate, that land right there by the ocean or the sea is quite expensive. So you'll find the most impressive hotels right there. So it's off the coast and it's a man-made archipelago. Those are natural things, unless you are creating things out of nothing, and that's what they did in Dubai. They have lots of things that are usually natural things that you can go see, but in Dubai they've had to make them because they don't have them there.
So, yes, these are artificial islands here. It's an archipelago, a group of islands like the Philippines, of course, is an archipelago.
But it's natural in the Philippines.
But those are natural, indeed. And, of course, at the Palm Jumeirah, there are lots of top hotels. That's where many of Dubai's top hotels can be found. The Palm Jumeirah is especially beautiful when seen from above, so be sure to look out for it later when your plane departs Dubai. Kind of depends on whether you have a window seat and which side of the airplane you're on. If you want to see it from the air, you might want to investigate the direction in which planes take off from the airport there and determine which side of the airplane you should sit on so you can see that thing. I always try to do that myself to get the best view because I like looking down on the earth there.
Yeah.
And, I also try to usually sit on the left side of the plane when coming back to Taiwan because then you can look out the window and see all the fishing boats outside of Wanli there. It's quite a sight to see if you're flying into Taiwan and Taipei City and Guanyinshan and stuff like that. But yeah, if you want to see something really impressive, check this out from above. Palm Jumeirah looks pretty cool from above, so look out for it. This is a phrase here, to look out for something. Look out could mean to be careful. If your friend accidentally steps into the road during rush hour, you could say, hey, look out for those cars. Look out. It's dangerous out there. But in this particular case, it just means keep your eyes peeled for this thing. Pay attention. Wait to see this thing. Be ready to see something.
Yeah, when we would go on family vacations, sometimes, little kids have to stop more frequently and use the restroom or the bathroom. So my mom would say to the older kids in the car, hey, be on the lookout for a gas station, because gas stations also had bathrooms or restrooms where kids could go to the bathroom. So you can be on the lookout for something, or just be sure to look out for. Or here's another example. When I was young, I was the oldest sister, and so I often was babysitting my younger brothers and sisters. And my mom would say, "Look out for your little brother. Make sure he doesn't get into trouble." So you can actually be looking for a place or an item, or just be aware of someone if they're safe, or maybe putting themselves into a dangerous situation. Be on the lookout for something. And if you depart, you guys all know that just means you're leaving some sort of destination. If you're at the airport, you'll see a sign that will have departures and arrivals. So the departures are when people are leaving that particular city and flying somewhere else. And the arrivals, they're coming from outside that city or country and landing right there. So, yeah, I never thought about sitting on one side of the plane or another as I fly into Taipei. I'm going to have to try that.
And, of course, again, depart means to leave. So, for example, I could say, you need to arrive at the airport 3 hours before your plane departs, because it takes time to check in your luggage, to go through customs and stuff like that. So that's what they recommend. Get to the airport at least 3 hours before your plane departs.
Unless you're in Taiwan. And I found that I never have to wait more than an hour. But if you're in the U.S., you're crazy if you don't get to the airport 3 hours early.
Yeah, indeed. It takes a while because of the security measures that we've all had to go through because of 9/11. What was that?
We have more terrorists than they do here.
Yep, indeed. That is the case. And, that brings us to the halfway point in today's explanation. So we'll continue talking about Dubai in just a couple of seconds. But we'd like to turn things over to the Chinese teacher now.
大家好，欢迎收听 English Digest， 我是 Jessie。今天我们要阅读的文章是 Unit4 的第2天课程。提到杜拜，当然就少不了世界知名的哈利法塔 Burj Khalifa。我们看到第一段的第3句 At over 828 meters tall, it's the world's tallest building and boasts an elegant design. 它高度超过828公尺，是世界上最高的建筑，并以优雅的设计而自豪。动词 boast 是指以拥有什么而自豪的意思。例如 The city boasts a stadium with the capacity of 100,000 people. 这个城市拥有一座可以容纳10万人的体育场。boast 还有自夸、夸耀的意思。例如 I am really tired of Jack always boasting about his achievements. 我真的厌倦杰克一直夸耀他的成就。另外一个令人印象深刻的建筑奇迹就是朱美拉棕榈岛 Palm Jumeirah。我们看到第一段的倒数第2句 Located off Dubai's coast, it's the world's largest man-made archipelago, where many of Dubai's top hotels can be found. 它位于杜拜的海岸附近，是世界上最大的人造群岛。在这里可以找到许多杜拜的顶级饭店。本句一开始就用过去分词 located， 这是分词构句句构。原本的句子是 It is located off Dubai's coast, and it's the world's largest man-made archipelago. 两句主词都是 it， 省略第一句的主词 it， 因为第一句是被动语态，所以连 be 动词 is 一起省略。只留下过去分词 located， 然后将连接第2句的连接词 and 也省略，就形成了分词构句。
We're going to take a quick break. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
We shall now continue with our discussion. Again, we're talking about the sights and sounds of Dubai, discovering the delights of Dubai. We mentioned checking out some of the architectural wonders, Burj Khalifa. You could also go to the Palm Jumeirah, which are some artificial islands with some top hotels there. And it's great If you look out for it when you depart, it will be quite a sight to see. It will make some excellent pictures there. So here, let's continue with the next paragraph. It says, after you've finished sightseeing, it's time to go on a desert safari adventure. Sightseeing just refers to when you go and see the sights, when you kind of go around and check things out. Like here in Taipei, of course, you could take that one bus. I can't think of what it's called right now, but I think you pay a flat fee for the whole day, and it takes you around, and you can do some sightseeing. You can check things out. You can get off the bus for as long as you want and get back on it. I think Tainan has a similar bus as well, sightseeing buses, or you can do your sightseeing yourself by just taking local buses or riding a bicycle or walking around, taking taxis. However you want to do it, you can see a lot of stuff when you go sightseeing.
Yeah, they call those buses, not only here but in other countries, hop on, hop off. So you can get off the bus, see as much as you want, hop back on, and it's still the same fee. The ticket lasts all day, or whatever your ticket's for. It might be for a week or 2 days. Here we're going to take a desert safari. A safari is an expedition that people go out. Usually we use that word to talk about African safaris, where you'll go out into the wilderness in maybe a jeep, have a guide who takes you around to see some of the exotic animals. Here you're going out to the desert, where there's lots and lots of sand and lots of camels. You'll start with a camel ride through the desert as the sun sets. Now be prepared. Once the sun goes down, it gets a lot cooler in deserts. It's kind of a weird thing about the desert. During the middle of the day, it's so hot. But then at night, it really cools down. So next, you'll hop in a sport utility vehicle, which we now refer to as SUVs, Sport Utility Vehicle. Those are the cars that have taken over from like station wagons and Suburbans was another type of car that was popular for larger families, but they have better four-wheel drive in them, and it's easier to get around some of these places with really good tires. So you'll hop in an SUV for the wildest off-road experience of your life. Off-road refers to exploring places that don't have paved roads. A lot of kids like to go mountain biking, and it's an off-road bike they take. There are different bicycles based on what you're doing. There are bicycles made for just paved roads, flat surfaces, and then other bikes for the mountains. They're tougher. And you're going to do something kind of fun called dune bashing. Dune refers to those big mountains of sand. When I was young, we would go out to the desert and go around in dune buggies.
Yeah, dune buggies, the kind of vehicles that can drive around on sand dunes,
kind of
as
like
they're
Jeeps,
called.
Yeah.
I've never done that before.
Fun.
I've heard of it done in different places in the world, maybe in California or something.
You can do it there too.
In the Mojave Desert,
Yeah.
or maybe in New Mexico. I'm not quite sure, but in any case, bashing here, I guess that means you're kind of going up and down the sand dunes, and I'm sure it's a lot of fun, and they do that in SUVs now instead of dune buggies. Just remember to hold on to your seat as the driver whips you around the desert at high speeds. A whip here, just kind of moving fast here, so it does sound kind of dangerous. What if they roll over or something? But I'm sure you'll probably have your seatbelts on and they'll have airbags, so the risk of injury is probably pretty low, but it probably will be very stimulating and an experience to remember for the rest of your life. So at the end of the tour, you can relax and watch belly dancers move to the rhythm of Middle Eastern music. Hey, that sounds kind of fun there, although I don't know if I'd necessarily enjoy the belly dancers as much as I would hearing the actual music there. Middle Eastern music is pretty cool. They've got some great rhythms and interesting musical instruments and stuff like that. But what the heck, I'll watch the belly dancers as well. They're mostly women who can move in certain ways. I think they wear long skirts and stuff like that. I'm not quite sure. I've only seen YouTube videos of that. But if you talk about a rhythm of something, that's just kind of like the beat, okay? And different cultures have different rhythms. There are different rhythms, say, in taiko drumming in Japan, different rhythms in Africa. If somebody plays, say, the djembe or other drums there, they'll have different rhythms, different beats.
Yeah, it's kind of fun to hear different nations and cultures, their music. It can be very different from what you're used to. Belly dancing is also a very popular exercise. Even here in Taiwan, I have 2 friends who go to a belly dancing class. So check that out, ladies. Mostly girls. I've never seen guys belly dance, but who knows? This world's weird. We'll probably have guys doing it too. By this point, this is our last paragraph, you've probably worked up an appetite. If you work up an appetite, it just means you're progressively getting more and more hungry. You can also be worked up by getting angrier and angrier. I know I've heard adults say, oh, poor little Johnny, he's really worked up over the fact that he lost his favorite toy. So you get progressively more emotions. Well, here you're just getting hungrier and hungrier. And that's how you work up an appetite. If you're outside doing yard work or doing something really physical, typically you'll get a lot hungrier than if you're just sitting at a desk typing on a computer.
Right, so yes, you might have developed an appetite. It has accumulated your desire to eat food. That's your appetite. So perhaps Dubai's best-kept secret is that its traditional food is delicious and reasonably cheap. So, of course, you can probably find all kinds of Middle Eastern food there in Dubai. That's traditional food there. It's delicious. It's really tasty. It tastes good. And it's not really that expensive. It's reasonably cheap. We're not saying it's dirt cheap like food in some countries is. Some countries, of course, have great food, like Thailand. When I went there many years ago, the food was just unbelievably cheap, but unbelievably good at the same time. I don't know if that's still the case now, but you could say that the food is not that expensive, okay? It's pretty cheap, reasonably cheap compared to other places. Reasonably means it's, it's something that you can afford. It's not ridiculously expensive. You can afford that, reasonably cheap.
You might be able to say it's relatively cheap, too, when you compare it to other cultures' cuisine. We didn't really talk about appetite. That's my fault. It's a natural desire to satisfy some need your body has. We use it more with food than anything else. And when you're sick, you really lose your appetite. You just don't feel like eating. Maybe you do need to eat, but you just don't want to eat. Of course, if you exercise, you're going to want to eat more than usual. So why are these dishes really fun? Well, they've got different cuisines over there. They've got Tunisian, Lebanese, Moroccan, or other Middle Eastern cuisines. I do like Middle Eastern food. It's pretty tasty. Shawarma is a mouth-watering pita wrap. Pita is a type of grain, and we use it instead of, say, white bread or wheat bread for a sandwich. The ingredients of a sandwich will just be wrapped in the pita. Those are very popular. With juicy lamb or chicken that's slow roasted over an open fire. Anything that's slow roasted and is a meat, it's going to be good. It's going to taste really good. So there's something else called machbuz, is a famous rice dish that contains yummy stuff like onions, meat, and plenty of flavorful spices. If something's flavorful, it's very tasty. It's not bland or boring. It's got a lot of zip to it, and it's fun to eat. So remember, they've got really strong, tasty spices just over there in that part of the world. Really good food.
Yeah, I've had pitas before, but only here in Taiwan and in the United States, so I'm sure it's kind of tempered for local tastes. If you go to the Middle East and have their food there, it's probably the real thing.
Yeah.
So it's going to probably pack a powerful punch. The spices will be genuinely tasty, and you'll probably never have eaten anything like that in your life. Hey, that sounds like incentive enough for me to make my reservations now. So with so much to see, do, and taste, you'll find Dubai to be a magical destination full of delights and wonders. And that's how we wrap up our article for today. We're just saying, hey, you can see lots of things there. You can do lots of things there. You can eat lots of wonderful food there. So because of that, you will conclude that Dubai is a magical place. It's a great destination for your next holiday. Okay, that brings us to the end of our explanation. Let's listen now to our Chinese teacher.
参观完杜拜的建筑奇迹后，杜拜有一些值得一试的活动。 我们看到第二段的第一句 After you've finished sightseeing, it's time to go on a desert safari adventure. 结束观光后，是时候去沙漠探险旅行了。名词 sightseeing 是观光、游览的意思。Go sightseeing 就是去观光的意思。例如 If you go sightseeing in New York, you must visit the Museum of Modern Art. 如果你去纽约观光，你一定要去参观现代美术馆。另外，名词 adventure 是冒险的意思。Go on an adventure 就是去冒险。另外，在沙漠冒险时，还可以体验冲沙活动。我们看到第二段的第三句 Next, you'll hop in a sport utility vehicle for the wildest off-road experience of your life, dune bashing. 接下来你会跳上一辆越野休旅车，享受你生命中最疯狂的越野体验——冲沙。Sport utility vehicle 直翻是运动型多用途车，也就是越野休旅车。名词 utility 有效用、用途的意思。例如 Tests have proved the utility of this new medicine. 试验已证明这个新药的效用。另外 utility 还有水、电、瓦斯等公共事业的意思。例如The utility company provides gas, water, and electricity for the entire town. 这家公用事业公司供应全镇的瓦斯、水和电力。而 utility bill 就是指水电或瓦斯账单。我们接着看到最后一段的第一句 By this point, you've probably worked up an appetite. 到这个时候，你可能已经饥肠辘辘。动词片语 work something up 有激发、激起的意思。例如 Kevin's travel plan doesn't really work up my enthusiasm for this trip. 凯文的旅游计划实在激起不了我对这趟旅行的热忱。名词 appetite 是食欲、胃口的意思。Work up an appetite 就是指激起食欲。而 spoil 或是 ruin somebody's appetite 就是指坏了某人的胃口。Spoil, S-P-O-I-L, ruin, R-U-I-N 都有破坏的意思。Eating too much chocolate before dinner will spoil your appetite. 晚餐前吃太多巧克力会破坏你的胃口。另外，形容词 appetizing, A-P-P-E-T-I-Z-I-N-G 是指开胃的、刺激食欲的。而名词 appetizer, A-P-P-E-T-I-Z-E-R 就是指开胃菜。以上就是今天的课程，谢谢大家收听。
That is it for today. Thank you so much for joining us, and please join us again next time for another edition of our program. From all of us here at English Digest, I'm Tom.
I'm Stephanie.
Goodbye.
Bye.